Welcome back, my dear listeners, to another captivating episode of English Plus. I'm your host, Danny, here to guide you through an enthralling journey into the heart of history, mystery, and intrigue. Today, we have a very special episode where we will be diving into the life of a figure shrouded in allure, power, and intelligence. This episode is like no other, as we unravel the story of a woman who was not just a ruler, but a legend in her own time and beyond. She was born into a dynasty that changed the course of history. A woman of exceptional intellect and charm. She spoke multiple languages and was known for her dazzling political acumen. Her life was a tapestry of alliances and enmities, entwined with some of the most powerful men of her era. Her name is synonymous with beauty, but it was her sharp mind and strategic thinking that truly set her apart. This queen, a lover of arts and the patron of scholars, was also a mother and a leader who navigated her kingdom through turbulent times. Her reign marked one of the most significant periods in the ancient world, a time when cultures collided and history was written in the sands of time. As we delve into her story, we'll uncover the myths, the facts, and the untold stories of her life. Her legacy has been debated, admired, and shrouded in mysteries for over 2,000 years. From her dramatic rise to power to her intriguing relationships with the most powerful men of Rome, her life story is nothing short of an epic. So stay tuned as we embark on this journey back in time to a land of pyramids and pharaohs to discover the true story of the last queen of Egypt. Who is she? Well, you'll have to keep listening to find out. Let's unravel the enigma of this legendary figure right here on English Plus. And now, my friends, let me reveal to you our very special guest for today, the one and only Cleopatra. Cleopatra, thank you very much for being here. We're honored to have you as a fantastic guest on our show.
Thank you, Danny. I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on your show.
Alright, so let me start with the first question I have for you, and we have quite a few. But first, as a child in the Ptolemaic dynasty, what were your most influential experiences, and how did your education shape your perspective on leadership and governance?
As a daughter of the Ptolemaic dynasty, one might think my childhood was filled with luxury and idle pleasures. Quite the contrary, I was steeped in rigorous education and political intrigue from a young age. I studied philosophy, arts, science, and, of course, politics. This upbringing instilled in me a deep understanding of leadership's complexities. It's like learning to navigate the Nile. One must understand every twist and turn to avoid capsizing. I learned early that knowledge is as powerful as any army and far more versatile.
All right, now let me ask you about your role as a female leader. In a time dominated by male rulers, how did you navigate your position as a female leader, and what challenges did you face in asserting your authority?
To be a woman in power in a man's world, it was like being an exotic creature in a menagerie. Each move scrutinized, each decision second-guessed. But I thrived. I used my intelligence and charisma to assert my authority, often outmaneuvering those who underestimated me. I would say to women today, never underestimate the power of wit and charm. They can be mightier than the sword, especially when the sword is wielded in a world that expects you only to admire its shine.
You are known for embracing Egyptian culture despite your Macedonian heritage. How important was this cultural integration to your reign, and what can modern leaders learn from your approach to cultural diversity?
Adopting Egyptian customs was not just a political strategy. It was a celebration of the rich tapestry of cultures under my reign. I embraced Egyptian deities, fashion, and language. Not because I had to, but because I respected and loved the culture that welcomed me as their pharaoh. Today's leaders could learn from this. Respect and understanding of other cultures are the cornerstone of harmonious coexistence. Plus, Egyptian fashion was truly ahead of its time. Everyone looks good in gold.
And now I would like to ask you about your strategic alliances. Your alliances with powerful Roman figures were pivotal in your reign. Now, can you share your thoughts on the importance of strategic partnerships in politics? How would you approach international relationships in today's global political climate?
Politics is a dance, and choosing the right partner is key. My liaisons were calculated, but also passionate. Let's not forget that. Aligning with powerful Roman figures was essential for the survival and prosperity of my kingdom. In today's world, where power dynamics have shifted yet remain as complex, I would advise leaders to choose allies wisely, but also to be prepared to dance alone when necessary. And always, always, watch your back. Sometimes the music stops when you least expect it.
Well, your influency in multiple languages and knowledge in various subjects is well documented. How did this intellectual prowess influence your rule, and what advice would you give to today's leaders about the value of knowledge and education?
Knowledge was my most cherished treasure, more valuable than the riches of Egypt. It informed my decisions and gave me an edge in negotiations. In a world ruled by brute force, I wielded intellect as my weapon. My advice to today's leaders? Never stop learning. The world is vast, and knowledge is infinite. Ignorance may be bliss for some, but for a ruler, it's the quickest path to downfall. Also, learning languages is key. It's not just about communication, but understanding the very soul of a people.
And now allow me to ask you a question about the representation of women in power. Now, as a woman who has been both revered and vilified through history, what is your view on the representation of female leaders in history and media? How can modern society better acknowledge the contributions of women in power?
History has a way of simplifying complex characters, especially women. I've been portrayed as a seductress, a schemer, a victim. The truth is, I was all that and much more. Women in power face a multifaceted challenge: to be strong but not threatening, intelligent but not arrogant. Today's media could learn from the past by portraying female leaders in all their complexity, rather than fitting them into convenient archetypes. Remember, a woman in power is like a sphinx, mysterious, powerful, and often misunderstood.
Now, given your status as a powerful female figure in history, what are your thoughts on the modern feminist movement? How do you think your experiences and challenges resonate with the struggles and achievements of women today?
The modern feminist movement is fascinating. In my time, power was a game of survival, not just for oneself but for one's lineage and country. Today, women fight not just for power, but for equality, a noble cause. I see my struggles reflected in theirs. The right to rule, to be heard, to be respected. These are timeless battles. I would tell the women of today to continue their fight with the same cunning and courage I used. And remember, a little charm can disarm the mightiest opponent.
And now I will ask you a question about the environmental challenges we have today. Now, considering the importance of the Nile River in your reign and its environmental challenges today, what insights can you offer on the importance of environmental stewardship and sustainable practices for future generations?
The Nile was the lifeblood of Egypt, as vital as the air we breathed. Today's environmental challenges sadden me. The earth is a gift, and it's the duty of all, especially those in power, to protect it. Sustainable practices are not just noble, they are essential for survival. I would urge leaders and citizens alike to treat the earth as their most precious kingdom, for without it, all empires crumble into dust. And trust me, I know a thing or two about empires crumbling.
And now let me ask you a different question. Your reign was marked by both war and diplomacy. In today's world, where conflicts still prevail, what guidance would you offer to world leaders on navigating between warfare and diplomatic solutions?
My reign was indeed a delicate balance between war and diplomacy. In conflict, one must be as shrewd as a serpent and as bold as a lion. Yet, true strength lies in diplomacy, the art of achieving victory without unsheathing a sword. To today's leaders, I say this: war may decide who is left, but diplomacy decides who is right. Choose your battles wisely, and remember, the most powerful weapon in any arsenal is a well-crafted word.
And for my final question, how would you like to be remembered? And are there any common misconceptions about your life and reign that you would like to address for a modern audience?
How do I wish to be remembered? As a ruler, a mother, a scholar, a lover, a fighter. I was not just a queen of Egypt, but a queen of complexity. And as for misconceptions, let's clear a few. No, I was not just a seductress. Yes, I was ambitious, but I also deeply cared for my people. And no, I did not die from a snake bite, but let's keep some mystery alive, shall we? After all, what's a queen without a little enigma?
Well, these were all my questions for today. Cleopatra, thank you very much for being on our show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
As we draw this incredible episode to a close, I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our extraordinary guest. Your insights have not only illuminated the past, but also offered valuable perspectives for the present and future. Thank you for sharing your story, your wisdom, and your humor with us today. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey through time, exploring the life of one of history's most fascinating figures. Your curiosity and passion for learning make this podcast what it is, and for that, I am truly grateful. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following English Plus on your favorite podcast platform and share it with friends and family who might also enjoy delving into the rich tapestry of history and culture. Your support means the world to us and helps us continue to bring you engaging and thought-provoking content. For those who wish to take their support to the next level, you can become a patron of English Plus on Patreon. Your patronage not only helps us grow and improve, but also gives you access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes glimpses, and special interactions with me. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. Keep the flame of curiosity burning bright. And until next time, this is Danny signing off from English Plus. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep exploring the wonders of our world.